We love featuring artists you should know about. Today we're heading to Canada to chat with country singer Kendra Kay. Kendra was raised in a rodeo family. Her debut full-length album, Homegrown Heart, debuted at #1 on the Canadian Country iTunes chart last year. And just last month, she released a brand new single called I'm Good. We're excited to have Kendra Kay on the show. First, Kendra, thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me.
Well, wow. Congratulations. You've been nominated for a few years, but the Manitoba Country Music Awards came out, and you're nominated for like 6 awards.
No, thank you very much. I'm super grateful. The support I have here at home is amazing, and I'm always feeling blessed to have the support that I do. So it's pretty great.
Yeah, and your band, 4 of the guys in the band are up.
I'm pretty lucky too for the guys in the band. They're my guys are pretty talented musicians. We've been playing together for a long time, and we've kind of grown up together. So it's pretty cool to have all the support that we do here at home.
Yeah, that's awesome. We'll talk more about the band, but you grew up in a rodeo family. What was your dad, your mom, what?
So my family, I grew up, my family races chuck wagons here in Canada. So we were doing that growing up. And then a little bit later in life, kind of once I got old enough, I got a barrel horse and I started barrel racing quite a bit. So I still barrel race today. It's just not as much as I used to, just because of everything seems to fall on the weekends and the summertime between music and rodeo. So we jackpot a bit, and I barrel race when I can. But yeah, I grew up doing that. We weren't too much like lake people. We were always out with the horses. So I've loved that life so much. It definitely has made me who I am, and I wouldn't have changed that for anything.
Yeah, I love if you go and check out Kendra's social media. She's got some reels there. One, she's riding a horse, and then there's one where there's like a pasture of horses. Is that at your folks' place, or where are your horses at?
That's our place. We just bought that place, so we're moving out there here right away here. Just we're super excited about this kind of new chapter. We got a quarter of land that's all ours. I've got my horses out there already, and we're doing all that. So I'm super excited about that change too, because I've lived in town for a little while, just as we got on our feet, and now that we kind of have settled in a bit, we've got ourselves a piece of land and a place with a barn and a pasture and some hayland, and kind of going back to my roots quite a bit.
Yeah, heading back out to the country. Well, you've had an exciting summer. I mean, again, congratulations. You just got engaged. Tell us all about this.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's also super exciting. He's actually the guitar player in my band, so we started knowing each other that way. He's played guitar for me for a while, and we grew close, and that's one thing that I'm really grateful for. It's nice to do this music with somebody that supports you as much as he supports me, so that's amazing. So it's amazing because he does everything with me out on the farm. He likes to ride horses with me, and we do that life together, and then we hit the road and we do music together. So it's pretty special to have that. And he proposed at home on the farm with the horses all in the barn. So it was a very special moment, and I'm excited. We're kind of early stages of wedding planning, so it's all that fun stuff. We'll get through summer busyness, festival season, and shows, and then I'll kind of crank down and maybe start planning a wedding a little bit more seriously.
Yeah, it's crazy how, I mean, well, you're together. Music just kind of breeds love. When did it start? I mean, how long did you guys know each other?
We met back in 2019 was the first time that Chad started playing with us. And then he played with us off and on because he was playing with other groups. And then he started playing with us more frequently. And then him and I just grew close together. And we've been together for just a little bit over 2 years now. So yeah, it's great. He's amazing. He's been wonderful. We write together. We do lots of music stuff together. So he was a big part in these last recordings, including the new single. He was in the studio for all that and had a lot of musical inspiration behind it. So it's been fun to have him to collaborate with as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now he's the most hated man in Canada because he just scooped up Kendra
I don't know.
Kay.
He's a pretty lovable guy, so I'll give him that.
He better be. Well, you just mentioned the new one, I'm Good. It's your first release across the pond. And boy, you knocked it out of the park. You were the #1 downloaded song in the Nordic countries, #4 in the UK. That's got to be awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool. I find it amazing how, I can be sitting here in Canada and people on the other side of the world are listening to my music and listening to my interviews and watching my story kind of unfold. So it's pretty amazing the power of music from all around the world.
Yeah, your full-length Homegrown Heart, you crushed that. I mean, what's it been? Was that the start of the momentum that you've seen in the last year?
I would say yes, sort of. That everything was kind of leading up to that album. I've put out a couple EPs in the past, and but it was just time to release a full length album. I've been recording since I was in high school, and music has always been a big part of my life. But I would say that when I started recording, I was 15, 16 years old. I didn't really know the type of artist that I wanted to be. And as I recorded, I was recording songs that I love. And at that time, that's definitely what I thought that I wanted to do. But just over the last, few years, I've really found myself as an artist. And I really introduced myself to the world with that full-length album. And just to say that this is who Kendra Kay is all about. It told a lot of story that was very near and dear to my heart. And really gave an inside look to who I am as a person and as an artist. So I feel like that was definitely the turning page of people really getting to know me and understanding, and everything kind of clicks and stuff. So yeah, I'd say that between that and, I signed with a booking agency up here in Canada that opened a lot of doors for me and put me on a lot of stages that I, was only dreaming about 5 years ago and stuff. So I feel like between that and then the release of this full-length album was really what started things for me and what opened doors and made industry look at me a little bit differently, which is kind of all what we want. We just all want people to kind of respect the stuff that we're doing and support the art that we are trying to make and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, because you have a couple songs on there, Grandpa's Gibson and Ross's song.
Yeah.
Did you write those, or are those written by somebody else?
No, I wrote both of those songs. They're very personal. Of course, Grandpa's Gibson was a song about my grandfather. It was just a time I had went down to Nashville on a writing trip, and I took that title into a songwrite with a fellow that I hadn't even met before. And I was just like, I have this title. I don't really know what I want to tell with this story. And he just asked me to kind of tell him things about my grandfather and tell him what that meant to me and stuff. And this literal Les Paul Gibson that I talk about, it's a 1957. Grandpa was the original owner. There's nothing that has ever been done to this guitar. And it was actually played on the track. So like the fact that, I wrote this song, it was so personal for my family. The guitar got to be featured on the actual track and in the music video. And it just kind of lives, and it's this like amazing thing. It was actually the reason why I started to learn to play guitar, was because of this Gibson that we now have. So anyways, it's been an amazing thing. I play that song quite often live on stage for a special moment, and the people that can connect to that song and say like, it reminded them of their grandfather or their father or anybody special in their life. It's pretty cool. And then the Ross's song was another song that song kind of just poured out of me. My uncle, my mom's brother, was passing away. He had cancer, and they had sent him home to the farm because they couldn't do anything more for him. And it was a tough time. My mom was taking it pretty hard. He was only 56 years old, so he was young, and it was fast. And I remember sitting there the one morning, and I was just like, I can't imagine what my aunt is going through. She's sitting at home with her husband, and they told her that he's only got a few days and stuff. So I wrote this song from her perspective of just like kind of watching your life unfold. And then, you promise somebody for forever, but, forever ended way sooner than you thought. So that song kind of poured out of me in not very long. And that doesn't usually happen too often. So it's another special one. I find that the songs that are so near and dear to my heart, that tell a story that I need to say are the easiest songs for me to write, and they needed to have a place on this album. Ross's song was actually the last song that we recorded. The album was done, or I thought it was done, and I had wrote that song, and he was such a big fan of music, and he loved my band, and he always liked to come watch us play live. So I recorded that song for him in his memory. The band, my actual band, we went in studio, we did a live off the floor, just how he liked to listen to us. He didn't like the fancy bells and whistles. It was just us in the studio, live off the floor for kind of the bonus track on the album. So that's what that song's all about, and I'm happy that it has a place in the world on that.
Yeah, go and check it out. Homegrown Heart is her full-length album, Ross's song. That's an awesome story, Kendra. Go check out Kendra. She's at KendraKayCountry.com. She's on Instagram, Facebook. If you go to Facebook, look her up as Kendra Kay Music on there. She's also on TikTok. Homegrown Heart is out, and a brand new single, I'm Good, is also out that you're going to hear here in a second. But your guys' live show, man, you're crushing it. Top Country News called your live show a must-see, Kendra. I mean, that you got to be proud of that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love playing live. That's definitely my most favorite thing about being in this career path, is I just love playing music. And like I've said, I really grew up with the majority of the band that I do have that we take down the road. I met my fiddle player and my one guitar player when I was only 17. They were 18 and 19 at the time, so we really did grow up together. They started playing with me, and it's been 10 years now. We've been in a band together, and we've played all over. There's not too many shows where those guys haven't been on stage with me. So you can just see that chemistry, and the one thing that I'm really proud of is that you can just see the fun that we're having. Playing music is fun, and that's what it should be. You know, this is technically our job, but we love what we do. And you really can see that. And I think that's why so many people enjoy watching us play live, is because you can genuinely see the fun that we're all having on stage, because we are one big band family, and they're like brothers to me. So we like to have fun and keep the energy high and get the crowd involved. And it's fun. I'm grateful that for the shows that we've gotten and the opportunities that we've seen in the stages we've been on, because it's made us grow lots as well, and gave us the opportunity to keep getting better and keep building fans. And of course, that's what everybody wants as an artist, is to keep building fans and playing in front of new people. So I'm pretty lucky.
Yeah, no, it looks like a great group of guys you got. And yeah, they do look like they're having fun. If you go check out her last single, Good People, which we played last hour, it's up for Video of the Year. And also you can see just how much fun you guys are having doing that. But Good People, I mean, your folks have to be pretty excited about this song.
Yeah, that song, I always wanted to just write a feel-good family song. When I have this new project that we're putting together, and as I was writing and getting songs organized to head into the studio, I just wanted feel-good music. I feel like, a lot of female artists out there aren't doing that as much as I would like to see. And I know quite often when I do my shows, the one thing that a lot of moms and young families come to me, and they thank me for playing music that's like appropriate for their children and for their families to listen to. And I think that's pretty special. There's a place in the market for every type of music, but I really try and hit that where you can listen to my music whether you're 2 or 92, and there's somehow that you're going to relate to it. And I really wanted to do a fun family song like that, because I have super supportive parents. I'm very close with my family. Our whole family is very close. And I wanted to kind of have a cheeky, fun playoff thing that tells people about them in a fun way that, makes you kind of laugh. And they love it. They're super great about it when I wrote it, and they were excited to see it come out. So yeah, that song's fun. That was probably one of my funnest songs that I've ever written. Yeah,
go check out Good People, and also go and check out the video. Well, your shows, you opened for Gord Bamford, who we love as a Canadian artist. Did you get to talk to Gord at all?
Yeah, I have. I've met Gord a few times. He's a great person, and I love his music. I've always been a fan of Gord, so it's awesome. the Canadian industry is it's big, but it's very small together too. It's kind of one close-knit family. So I feel like we're constantly running into everybody. And people like Gord, they're always grateful and are great I'm grateful that they always take the time to stop and talk to you, whether you're just passing by at the same festival or if you're playing on the same bill or whatever like that. So yeah, he's super great. The last time we played that show with them, we all sat upstairs before the show and had supper together and chit chatted, and it was a great time.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. We've had him on the show. Wild, one of your songs on the album, was co-written by Carly Pearce. How did you get this song?
I got pitched this song as I was getting songs organized for my debut album. I had a lady I was working with that was pitching me music, and the coolest thing about this whole thing is often when you get pitched songs, you don't always get told who the writer is on the music that you're listening to. But I'm a big Carly Pearce fan, and when I heard that song, I instantly knew that I wanted to record it, and I was like, there's just something about it that's so familiar, and I'm just a fan of how it was written. And then, of course, when I said that I wanted the song, I had found out who was the writers on it, and I was like, well, of course I like it. Like, I'm a fan of every one of them. So that was super cool. I had a lot of bigger names writing on the last album, and that is something that I'm baffled by still today. It's crazy that you have support of people like that in the industry that are willing to let you cut their music like that. And I'm beyond, I don't know, I'm still lost for words of stuff like that to see. And to when people bring it up, I'm like, yeah, it's crazy. That was exactly what I thought. I'm like, oh my goodness, she sang the demo on it.
Wow.
That song was on the table. It's cool. I find it quite interesting how everything unfolds and everything comes to be like that.
Yeah. It's a great song. I'm like, why didn't she do that? Just keep the song. But hey, good for you.
Yeah.
It's funny. This morning, I had an Australian artist on, Don Allen, who's an older guy. He was talking about he's gonna do "How Great Thou Art." That's like his next single, and I was like, what? I was like, well, we have Kendra Kay coming on later today, and she did it a couple years ago. I was just kind of baffled by that, but you did it with, what's this, Jason Benoit?
Yeah.
How did this come about?
It was actually, I've always loved that song. I've always loved that music. I did it around Christmas time. I've always loved Christmas music and stuff, but I wanted to do more of a hymn. And mostly, I always talk. My grandmother, she loves gospel music, and she always bugs me. She's like, you should do a gospel album. And it's just definitely not in the cards right now. But when I was looking at kind of doing a song around Christmas time, in that realm, I thought, I would love to do a hymn for my family because they love this kind of music as well. So I kind of did that one because I knew it was one that my grandparents loved so much, and I heard that song so much growing up. So I did it at Christmas time, kind of for the family, and I love how it turned out. And I was grateful that Jason jumped on it. He's a good friend of mine from the eastern part of Canada. And he's got such a cool voice. So we did it together, and it resonated well, and I was happy, and it deserved to have a place in the world, and it was fun to kind of do around the holiday season live in our show to incorporate the roots of my family that listened to that song growing up.
Yeah, it's a great, you did a great rendition of it, that's for sure. Go and check her out, Kendra Kay. She's at KendraKayCountry.com. She's on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. She's everywhere. Her full-length album, Homegrown Heart, is out now. You can go listen to it on Spotify, and her brand new single, I'm Good, is also out now. Well, I'm Good. This is a great summer song. Tell us about I'm Good.
Again, I just wanted to release some music that was feel good, and this song does that for me, especially. This is just a lot of times in life, people often see what everybody else is doing, and everybody wants more and wants to do better, and of course that's an okay mindset to have, is to want to better yourself. But some days you can just sit back and be grateful for what you have and, you know, see the silver lining in everything that's coming. And that's what this song is truly all about. You know, over the last few years, kind of just with ups and downs, I just hit a spot in my life where I'm truly content with where I'm at, you know, like I'm happy about my life. I'm happy. Of course, there's things that I want to do more of, and I want to keep growing and all that kind of stuff. But there was kind of just I hit a point in my life where I felt happy, and I really wanted to record music that reflected that, and I wanted people to have that mindset where you only get one chance at this life thing, and there's no point in living in constant stress and regret and all that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to put a song out that made you think like, yeah, you know what, I do have it pretty good. And that's what this one is all about. And I know I played a show earlier this year in Mexico for Boots on the Beach, and I played this song live for the very first time there. And after my first time playing it, we finished the concert. I had this lady come up to me and she was in tears, and we ended the show with that song, and she's like, that song that you just played, she's like, it hit me so much. I have cancer, and the doctors didn't know if I'd be able to do this trip to Mexico. This is kind of like my last outing before I have to go back in for chemo. And she's like, you know, it hit me so well. She's like, because we're here together and we're in Mexico and life is pretty good. I'm really grateful that I can be here. And she was just sobbing, and I was just like, that's the power of music. It's just like that lady is going through so much, but it just made her see the beauty that was in the day that she was in right then and there. And it was, you know, that's all I wanted to do with music. So I hope this song keeps doing that for people and brings a little bit of light and hope to everybody that, you know, we all have it good in a certain way, and to see that the best we can.
Yeah. See the positive. Everything's so negative.
Absolutely.
And anyway, I mean, that had to touch your heart. Holy cow. When somebody tells you that, first time you play it, you're like, yeah, I mean, you had to think, well, boy, I guess we did write a good song.
Yeah, that's anytime anybody comes over to me after a show, or even just in general, I get messages online and stuff. And if anybody ever resonates with music that I've written or released or anything, it's all that you could hope for. Like, you know, sometimes you're writing songs and you're like, who's listening to these? You know what I mean? Like, there's millions of songs in the world, and sometimes you just feel like you're just in this constant rut of writing, recording, releasing, writing, recording, releasing. And then you get messages like that, or you get people coming up to you and telling you stories like that. And it just makes it all worth it. It just makes all of the struggle and the constant up and downs of this music industry, it makes it worth it, because we're telling these stories for a reason too. They mean something to us as artists. So to have other people connecting to them in the ways that you're just hoping that somebody else can feel something from this music that you're creating is what we all want. And it'll never get old. It'll never lose its special touch. All these stories that people tell me, I genuinely care, and I genuinely love hearing them, because it just makes me feel like I'm doing my job correctly. I just want to make music that means something to somebody else. So, yeah. Yeah.
Go and listen to her. And she's heading west. She's got shows in British Columbia coming up starting August 16th. So if you're out there, if you're listening, go and check her out. You can go check out her social media. Go check out KendraKayCountry.com. And she's on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. She's everywhere, and you can check out her dates there. So what are we going to try to do? You mentioned you played in Mexico. You got some ties in Nashville. Are we sticking in Canada? Are we going to try to come to the States? What are we thinking?
I mean, I just want to get my music out there the best I can. This single is, you know, like we said earlier, is my debut across the pond. Of course, in Australia, we're pushing the single and all that stuff. So I just want to build fans and keep playing music. And I definitely, Canada's home, especially for right now. My family's here, and like I said, I'm close with my family. But it's so easy to get on a plane and travel around the world. So I would love to continue to grow my fan base here in Canada and of course all over the world. And I would love to play shows everywhere that will book me to play a show, because that's, like I said, that's what I love to do. So we're just going to keep growing, and we're going to keep putting music out, and we're going to keep trying to make fans and build up that way. So I guess that's the plan.
Yeah. Keep crushing it, because she's crushing it right now, and she's good. So even better. Kendra Kay, go check her out, KendraKayCountry.com. And here is her brand new single, I'm Good. Kendra, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's KIX 96.5.